안녕하세요 여러분, EBS 생활영어의 선현우입니다. 반갑습니다.
안녕하세요 여러분, and welcome back to another episode of EBS의 생활영어. I'm Megan Bowen.
I'm in green, you are in red.
Yes.
We're missing a yellow for a traffic light.
For the traffic lights, right?
Exactly.
At first I was thinking Christmas because it's red and green, but
Well, that makes sense too.
speaking of Christmas, I think I need to get in touch with my parents. I haven't talked to them in a couple weeks.
연결이 아주 자연스러웠는데요.
Yes.
저는 그냥 이상 이야기만 했는데 자, 그럼 가족에게 연락을 크리스마스 느낌이 나서 해야 된다고 하셨으니까
Yes.
오늘 주제 바로 소개해 주시죠.
Yes. So today's question is, how do you stay in touch with people?
사람들과 어떻게 연락을 하고 지내는지 질문을 해봤습니다. How do you stay in touch with people? Stay in touch 이 말 약간 헤어지는 친구하고 stay in touch 오랜만에 봤다가 잠깐 인사하고 빠이빠이 할 때 쓰는 말이죠.
Yeah, so when you're leaving, I'm like, okay, stay in touch, call me, text me,
연락해.
send me an email.
네.
Yeah, just
네.
contact me somehow.
That's right. 그게 문자가 되든지 전화가 되든지 이메일이 되든지 소셜미디어가 되든지 연락하고 지내자라는 말로 쓸 수 있는 것이 바로 stay in touch인데요.
Yeah.
How do you stay in touch with people?이라는 주제를 이 질문을 누구에게 해봤죠?
So today we asked Aliona, who's from the Ukraine.
네, 우크라이나 분이고요. 알리오나 씨에게 이 질문을 해봤습니다. 알리오나 씨의 전체 이야기를 들어보기 전에 요약 문장 봐야죠.
That's right. So we're just going to look at her speaking summary first. So let's watch.
So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones. So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones. So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones.
네, 여러 가지 방법으로 사람들과 연락을 할 수 있다라는 그런 요약 문장이었습니다. 구체적으로 볼까요?
So she says, so nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other. And social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with loved ones.
네, 다시 한번 처음부터 번역을 해드리면 so 여기서 so라는 것은 굳이 그러므로 그래서라고 번역하지는 않아도 되겠고요. Nowadays 요즘에는 thankfully 감사하게도 다행스럽게도 we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other. 서로 연락할 서로 의사소통할 방법이 훨씬 더 많습니다. A lot more ways than before. 전보다라는 부분이 생략이 되었고요. 좀 몇 가지 예가 나열이 됩니다. And social media apps, 소셜미디어 앱들과 messaging, 여기서는 이제 메시징, 문자 그 메시지를 주고받는 행위를 말하지만 메신저 앱들도 여기서 가리키고 있어요.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
And phone 또는 뭐 phones라고 해도 될 것 같은데 are definitely a few ways to communicate with loved ones. Loved one, 사랑받는 이라는 거는 가족, 가까운 친구, 또 친척.
Your family members, your
네.
close friends, just people you care about.
네, 아끼는 사람들을 말합니다. 아끼는 사람들과 연락하는 몇 가지 방법입니다라고 이야기하네요.
Okay, since we have gone over and explained her speaking summary, how about we let her say it once again?
So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones. So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones. So, nowadays, thankfully, we have a lot more ways to communicate with each other, and social media apps, messaging, and phone are definitely a few ways to communicate with the loved ones.
전체 이야기를 듣고 공부를 해볼 시간이 됐죠?
That's right. It's time for English on the
the
go. It's time for English on the go, which means you're going to take a look at Aliona's full clip. She's going to be talking to us about ways that she likes to keep in touch with her loved ones. And she's also going to talk to us about how she kept in touch with people in the past. Let's take a look.
Just one ignite
Are you ready? Go!
Staying in touch with people is definitely not what it used to be back when I was growing up. When I was little, I would pick up the phone and call my neighbor to ask about her day or share some exciting news that happened to me, or just talk to her with no reason, just because I missed her. And nowadays, people prefer texting through social media apps or messaging apps instead of calling somebody and hearing their voice. And while it makes me sad, the advances in technology and social media connections has actually helped a lot of more people stay in touch, because you have apps that allow you to communicate with your loved ones that are really far away, and just calling them by the phone is really expensive. So when I call my relatives back home in a different country, I call them through an app, and it's much cheaper and much more convenient. And with my friends who are around the neighborhood and that are closer to me, I usually either text them or I'd call them really quickly because I know they're probably busy with their day.
핵심 단어들 공부하고 넘어가 보죠. 첫 번째로 이런 말이 나옵니다. 연락을 하고 지내다. 아까 간략하게 소개를 했는데요. Stay, 어딘가에 머무는 건데 in touch, touch 안에 머무는 거니까 연락이 닿는 곳에 있다라는 느낌이 되겠죠. Stay in touch. 반대말로는 이제 fall out of touch 하면은 약간 진학하고 다른 학교로 뭐 전학하고 이러면서 연락이 끊기는 경우 있잖아요. 그런 경우도 fall out of touch, stay in touch의 반대말이 되겠고요. text, T-E-X-T 하면 어떤 글을 읽었을 때 그 지문도 텍스트고 그 글자들도 텍스트이고 문자 메시지도 텍스트 메시지에서 줄임말로 텍스트라고 하는데 이게 또 동사화되어서 문자 메시지를 보내다라는 뜻까지 가지고 있습니다. 그 다음으로 세 번째, 발전, 진보, advance, advance. 이 세 개 발음 연습해 볼까요?
Let's practice our pronunciation, starting with the first one, that is stay in touch. Stay in touch. Stay in touch. The next one, text. This one could be a little bit hard, so let's say it again. Text. Text. And the last one, advance. 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 Let's go back to Hyunwoo Sim and take a look at the last three vocabulary words.
그 다음입니다. 허락하다, allow, allow인데요. 허락해주다, 허용하다라는 의미로만 번역했을 때는 잘못 번역되는 경우가 있어요. 왜냐하면 할 수 있게 해주다라는 의미를 갖고 있는 경우도 있거든요. enable 느낌이에요. 어떤 의미로 어떻게 쓰였는지는 이따가 보고 loved ones라는 말이 나왔는데 loved one 하면은 아끼는 사람, 그러니까 loved by me죠. 내가 아끼는 사람 또는 가족과 연인들을 가리킵니다. 그리고 동네 근처를 가리키는 neighborhood, 이 동네 또는 이 근방, 약간 진짜 완전 내 동네만을 가리키는 건 아니고 내가 사는 곳에서부터 그렇게 멀지 않은 곳까지 커버를 할 수 있는 것이 neighborhood입니다. 발음 연습이요.
Please allow me to go over the last three words. The first one is allow. 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 The next one, loved one. Loved one. Loved one. The last one, neighborhood. 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 Okay, since we have gone over all those vocabulary words, let's look at the clip one more time, but this time with English subtitles.